everybody, welcome back to my channel. I finally got some light here in Florida so I could film for you guys. Today I'm going to be doing a one brand tutorial, this time with Hynt Beauty. And a couple of you have mentioned this brand, but I have quite a bit from them, so I thought it would be a good brand to do. Let me know what brands you would like to see next. I'm thinking Fit Glow, I'm thinking Silk Naturals. Let me know. I will be willing to try anything for you guys, or if you think I have a nice collection of something behind me. But if you want to know how to create this look and know a little bit more about Hynt Beauty, that's coming next. Alright guys, so we're just going to get straight into the tutorial. Since the Hynt foundation I'm going to be using today is powder, I'm going to go ahead and do my concealer first. So I have the old packaging, the Christopher Drummond Duo Face Hydrating Concealer, and it is now the Duet Perfecting Concealer from Hynt, and it comes in this tube now. And the formulation is the same, but I'm just going to be using this up until I break into that. I'm just going to take a pump of this on the back of my hands. I'm in the shade Light. You guys already know this is my favorite concealer of all time. Heavy duty coverage without the dryness, and it lasts all day for me. So I'm just going to go right into the eyes first. And then after the eyes, I'm going to go like in more areas of concern, which is like the middle of my face. And I don't find that the powder foundation has a ton of coverage, so I'm going to go pretty in with my concealer because I like decent coverage. And then of course I'm going to go on my chin because I get super red there. Just going to quickly buff that all in with a BS Small flat-faced angle brush. Okay, so once all my concealer is blended in and everything's looking a lot more smooth, I'm going to go in with the Pure Powder Veluto Foundation in the shade Light Beige. When you purchase the Discovery Kit, you will get two different shades. In the light one, which is the one that I own, you will get light beige and medium beige, so you can mix to make your own shade. But I will say about these sifters, you gotta tap quite a few times to get product out, which isn't my favorite. But also in the Discovery Kit, you get this amazing little super soft kabuki brush, and I'm just going to run that in the foundation. And I'm just going to start at the middle of my face and just apply in circular motions outward. And make sure to press the foundation into the skin so it doesn't fly everywhere, and once it's pressed, then go ahead and circular motions to blend it. So we are just disgustingly close. So as you can see, some of my imperfections are still peeking through. It is far from full coverage, but if you need something quick for every day, especially if you pair it with the concealer, I think I look really good in this area, in that kind of upside down triangle I made on my face, then I think it's lovely. But for every day, this isn't what I go for, especially because a matte finish isn't my favorite. But if you do have oily skin, please do give this a go. It does have white kaolin clay in it, which will be really good for oil absorption, especially if you top that with the powder, which I will be mentioning in a bit. Okay, so typically after that, I would go ahead and bronze. I do not have a Hynt Beauty bronzer, so I'm going to do that really quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I am thoroughly bronzed, I'm going to go in with the Hynt Beauty Alto Matte Blush. This is just a sample size. This is not what the full size looks like, and this is in the shade Sunset. I use this in my grunge makeup tutorial, which is also where I, funnily enough, use the Hynt Beauty powder foundation. It's just a super warm, pinky, orangey shade, insanely pigmented. So I'm just really working that in to the bristles of my brush there, and I'm just going to apply that to the backs of my cheeks. Now, I really like the Hynt Beauty blushes. I think they blend beautifully and have great pigment, because there's always a fine line with blush. We don't want something that's too pigmented because then we end up with Aunt Sally cheeks, but we also don't want something that is too sheer that you're using so much product to really get that pigment on there. So they are that perfect in between, and the shade Sunset is just, if you like warm tones, gorgeous everyday shade. Since you guys know I can't really get down with a matte foundation look, it's not too matte. I would say it's more of a skin-like finish, but I like to glow, girl. I like dewy. So we are going to go in with the, who would have thought, it's the Elizabeth Jean for One Love Organics Moisture Mist. And by the way, it's sold out everywhere, but it is available on Eco Diva Beauty, so I will link that down below for you guys to get your hands on it. It's phenomenal. Okay, so brows on. I'm gonna quickly set the face. One thing I wanted to mention about the Hynt Beauty concealer is that it does get very shiny. You are gonna need to set it. I recommend setting concealer anyway to get that kind of longevity out of it. But Hynt Beauty has two powders. They have the Lumiere and they have the Finale. The Lumiere is for more of a light boosting. It is very yellow in tone, and then the Finale is just a translucent pearl powder. Believe it or not, I prefer the Finale. I tried to bake my under eyes with the Lumiere, and it sat yellow under my eyes, and it got so dry and crepey. So I think you really need to use a very light hand with that. But this one, not so much. So I am just going to take this little Duo Fiber Real Techniques brush. This is the contour brush. To me, it's a powder brush. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that, and I'm going to start in the middle of the face. Whoop. And then just take it under the eyes. Across the chin. And you can see that immediately took that center shine out of my face, because I like to keep the shine all out here, but I'm actually not going to highlight today because I don't have a Hynt highlight. So I'm going to zoom you guys in. It's eyes time. All right, you guys, so before I start on the eyes, I'm going to use the Luka Cosmetics Bank Canvas Primer, which, oh my god, I'm obsessed. You just need the tiniest, thinnest layer. And then I'm going to set this with the Hynt Finale powder, and then we're going to get right into it. For shadow, we are not going to get too crazy. I have mine all depotted. I did destroy, there's 8 shades in the line. I destroyed this one, but I kept it because I love it. And then there's another shade called Crystal Taupe. If you guys want more information on these eyeshadows, I did an entire swatch video / review of them, so I will link that down below, but I love them. Some have more kick up than others, but it doesn't offend me. But anyway, the shade Crystal Taupe, I completely destroyed trying to depot it. So just be careful when you're doing these. They're really glued in there. So the first shade that I'm going to take, I'm just going to take it right through the socket, is Rosy Velvet, which is a total favorite of mine. You guys know this. Oh, actually, before we do that, I want a really crisp edge on this makeup look. So I'm going to take some tape. I'm going to stick it down the back of my hand here. Do that twice so it doesn't rip your eye area. And then I'm just going to take this underneath my bottom lashes up to the tail of my eyebrow, and we're gonna get a really crisp edge that way. You can see like that. This is how we're getting that into the crease, and they blend beautifully. Just something like that. Going to go in. Okay, I never mentioned this to you guys, but the green Bdellium Tools 785 actually is different from the Bdellium Tools Pink 785. So you can see that the pink is much more fluffy and this one is much more tapered, but I do love them both equally. I think the pink one I prefer, but if I need a little more precise work, like I'm gonna do now, I will take the green one. So I think this one's called Cocoa Brown. I think that's what it's called. But everything will be linked down below. That one does have a fair amount of kick up, so just be careful with that. Just be wary. It is very pigmented though. So we're just gonna go back in the crease again. And instead of just being a little more precise and they're not as diffused, which the brush will totally help you with that. And we're just going back and forth. This is how your eye should look, really nicely defined. It's gonna look great when we take off the tape. And then I'm gonna go in with the Bdellium Tools 778. Gonna go in with Linen Kiss, which is the matte whitish bone shade. That one also has a lot of fallout. And I'm just gonna take this right under the brow and just kind of blend that together. Sorry guys, the struggle is real. Your camera shuts off sometime. So as I was saying, I'm going in with the Bdellium Tools 781 back in that cocoa brown shade, and I'm going to just take a little bit and I'm going to drag it down like a little something like this, just to kind of align the top of the lash. I'm just going to connect it all together and go back in with the 785 and just buff it out. I just want it to be super diffused. Now you could just go in with that Linen Kiss shade, keep it on the lid, do lots of mascara, would look gorgeous, but I want to do something a little fun, and here I have the Hynt Beauty Stella eyeshadow in the shade Seashell. So the Stella shadows are the loose pigments that are glittery, It is gorgeous. Let's see if you guys can see that shade up close. There it is. This is like a pinky goldy shade. So I'm going to go in with just this Fit Glow little packer brush. This is my favorite for loose shadows. And I'm just going to take the Elizabeth Dean, and I like to really just like kind of put it up next to it and just to make it sure it's really wet and picks up the color. So I'll do that like twice. I'll just run the excess up the brush. I'm just going to take a little bit of that. And this beautiful shade is going to go over the lid. OMG. I'm in love. I've used this before. I know I'm in love with it, but every time I'm like, yes. In fact, it's pretty rose gold. It's pretty rose gold. Did a little something like this. I took it about 1/3 of the way inwards as to not mess up what we've already done. So then I'm going to go in with a bit more of Rosy Velvet, and I'm just going to buff that through the crease just to soften that edge a little bit. And once more, I want this a little bit deeper, I decided. So I'm going to go in with that same 781, a dab of each of the shades, Rosy Velvet and and the Cocoa color. I forgot what it's called, I'm sorry. And I'm just going to go down here again and bring it through the crease again. Okay, so the eye look should look a little something like this. And then we're just gonna go ahead and gently pull off that tape. You can see we're left with a pretty sharp line, and it took off some of our concealer slash foundation. So I'm just gonna take a little, like half a squirt of the Christopher Drummond or Hynt Beauty, I'm so sorry. And I'm just going to dab that in the area that just got removed. And this time I'm going to blend it in with the e.l.f. concealer brush just to diffuse that edge because we don't want it to be that hard. You can even just take your finger and just go back and forth a little bit, and it just really softens it up. Beautiful. And I'm sorry, I know, we're almost done. And again, with that 781 brush, we're gonna mix the Rosy Velvet and the brown, and we're just gonna take a kick of that right into the lower lash line, connecting it to the top. And since this is a more dramatic look, I love some eyeliner in the waterline. I can't help it. So I'm going to go in with the Hynt Beauty Forte High Definition Eyeliner. I can't get over that pink packaging. It's so cute. But in terms of eyeliner, not my favorite. I even used it as a base once. It is a coconut oil based eyeliner, so it creases like a mofo. It doesn't last the longest, but for the purpose of this video, I am going to use it. But I do think it's nice if you like a little bit at the root of the lash. It's not so black. It's a very soft black, so it looks really nice for that. And quickly, I just thought I would compare to the Antonym liner so I could show you guys what I mean by soft black. That's the Antonym and that's the Hynt. So I mean, it's still decently black, but once you've used the Antonym, that's a soft black. So I just wanted to show you guys, I do prefer the Antonym, but if you set the Hynt Beauty with powder, you're good. So this is the look. And then I'm going to go in with one of my favorites, is the Hynt Beauty Nocturne Mascara. Now this mascara is great if you find that a lot smudge on you. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this off camera, and then we're gonna get together for lips, and I will tell you my thoughts more on that. Okay, so I totally forgot to show you guys what the brush looks like. This is what the brush looks like. A very full and fat brush, which I love. I have 2 coats on right now. I am obsessed with it. I've been using this for a while, guys. I kept it under wraps until I did this video, but it is fantastic. It reminds me a lot of the Revlon Grow Luscious brush, if you guys are familiar with that, and I love that mascara, man. So quickly, I don't have any of their lipsticks, but I have 2 of their glosses because I am freaking obsessed. So this is the shade Burgundy Cherry. This is the shade Plum Radiant. I'm going to quickly swatch them for you. Oh, and quickly, how cute. I'm like in love with that packaging. Hynt, I'm so happy they rebranded because I think they've done such a phenomenal job. And excuse the rest of the mess, but this is Burgundy Cherry. As you can see, it looks like a nightmare there, but it isn't. And then Plum Radiant, which is just a lilac-y, cool toned kind of purple. I really love it, but since I'm going more warm tone today, I'm going to go ahead and apply Burgundy Cherry. They are beautiful. They are so comfortable. I cannot even stand it. So let's go ahead and apply that. Alright you guys, so this is the completed look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Across the board, Hynt Beauty is pretty damn good. I would say the standouts for me are definitely the glosses. I just love a good gloss. The eyeshadows, which I've already raved about them in a separate video, and the mascara. Those are my top three. Oh, actually the concealer too. The things that I could leave are the foundation. The blush is nice, I could live without it though. And the setting powders, I have a bunch that I like. So that about wraps it up. I really love Hynt Beauty as a brand. I think that they are very kind when you get in touch with them. And they also have a fantastic variety of products. And the ingredients tend to be super simple and clean, which I love. So if there's anything else that I need to try from Hynt Beauty, I'm thinking lipsticks, I'm thinking brow products, please let me know. I would love to know your favorites. And I also wanted to mention that I have a 20% off coupon code with Hynt Beauty. Everything is gonna be listed below. It's always good. So that's fantastic. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I adore each and every one of you, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.